Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Honey Too Sweet, and for today's video we are doing something that I guess us YouTube collector uh, channels we usually do at least once a year. I usually do 2 times, but it's the yearly binder collection tour. So pretty much everyone has been doing these, and I also like doing them as well. Last time, actually, that was my first ever video that I uploaded to this channel, was my binder collection tour. So if you haven't seen that one, you can go ahead and check it out. I'll make sure to link it up above. But that's where I first made my introduction into YouTube and showed my collection for the very first time. So that has been a pretty big milestone for me, in terms of like things I wanted to achieve throughout the year, and I'm so glad I did so. I'm not gonna lie, I've been slacking in the consistency department. I really do need to get on track of that, and I do plan on doing that hopefully this new year. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited to see where my collection has changed in certain parts, because I know for sure it has changed. Um, and yeah, I can't wait for you guys, if you guys are new here, for you guys to see my collection for the very first time, or if you're a recent subscriber, or even if you've stuck around since the very beginning, to see where my collection has changed. The main thing I would say that I know it has changed is I have changed binders. I throughout the year have purchased quite a bit of binders for my collection. So you might see some new additions, as well as me retiring some binders that weren't used anymore. So that's the big thing. Photocard wise, I definitely have bought a lot of albums and photocards throughout this year. Not as much as the previous years, just because I've taken a bit of a break from collecting, at least hardcore. Because just, things have been a little different for me as a K-pop stan. I still like K-pop, but I just have experienced that, I guess, burnt out sensation of being a K-pop stan, where I'm really behind on a lot of comebacks. It takes me months to listen to a comeback, even if it's an old group of mine. And so I just take things very slowly now, and I enjoy things for what they are. So it might take me a couple weeks, even months, to listen to a comeback, but eventually I'll come around and listen to it. In terms of collecting, I have kind of stopped. I think the main reason why I'm experiencing this burnout is honestly because of Riize, because they were the first group that really was bringing me back into K-pop. I was loving the group dynamic. I was loving the song that we got, which was just Siren. For a minute, I loved the direction that group was going. And if you don't know what has happened to Riize, pretty much Sunghan got kicked out of the group. It's just been so messy, and then I did have hopes that he was gonna come back to the group. I just think that that's not a thing anymore. That's not a possibility. Um, and then Eunseok is dealing with people wanting him out of the group as well right now, and it's just Riize went from being an old group to a group that, like, I don't even know if I should stand anymore. And so they really did. I don't know how to explain it. They kind of, like, in a way, I don't know, ruined things for me. And so I still like K-pop. It's just not as much anymore. Um, I do, however, hope that this next year things will be better, and I can find, I guess, that I haven't lost my love for K-pop, but because I still love collecting, it's just like, I don't know, things are just different now, you know. Um, but yeah, I do hope on seeing Treasure next year, or this year, whichever, whenever you're seeing this video. They are, I believe, planning a tour, a US tour in April, and April is my birthday. So I plan on, hopefully, crossing my fingers, securing tickets for that, and using that as my birthday trip to go out and see one of my favorite group perform. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, like later on when I go through my collection and I go through groups, I'll talk about them and how I'm feeling about them and stuff like that. Because I feel like I don't want to do that right now because we'll be here forever. So yeah. Otherwise, a little disclaimer in case you're wondering if I'm participating in any of the boycotts. I am participating in the riize boycott. I haven't followed them back. I've stopped interacting with their stuff. I rarely stream K-pop anymore, so I don't stream any of their music. Um, yeah, I'll talk more about them when we get to them in my collection. In terms of the Hybe boycott, I know there's currently a boycott for Hybe. Um, I'm not participating in it just because boycotting Hybe itself is very, very hard to do because it's such a huge company and there's so much money behind that company. So a couple K-pop stands boycotting isn't gonna do much. So if you're boycotting, all the power to you. I hope you can, succeed with this boycott. Please boycott properly. Um, Otherwise, it really doesn't have much of an impact. Um, yeah, get educated. So that's where I stand on those. But otherwise, I think we've yapped enough. I don't really have nothing else to cover, besides sharing my goals for this year for this channel. Um, I do plan on doing a little celebration, just for hitting a year and me still doing this. I want to celebrate it. Whichever success, whether it was small or big, I want to celebrate it, because I think they should be celebrated. Um, and yeah, I just plan on, hopefully, I really do try on being more consistent because I love recording and editing videos. It's something I do enjoy doing. It's just like sometimes things get caught up and you just don't have time, and by the by the time you remember that you have a video to edit, it's been like a month since you last filmed it. Speaking of which, I have two videos that are really, really behind. So if you probably see them after this video. So if you're wondering why I'm talking about things that happened in November, just know it's those videos. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for listening to me yap. I'm gonna be yapping throughout this entire video as well. So go ahead. This will probably be a very long video, so go ahead and grab something to eat, something to drink, or edit your collection while you're watching this, whichever you want to do. So I think without further ado, I think it's time we get started with this video and properly um, start displaying my collection, I guess. So yeah, we're gonna be starting off with my mini binders. I'm gonna go get them and I'll be right back. Alright, so these are my mini binders. So just kind of explaining exactly which mini binder is which and what they have. This has my 80s collection. Everyone besides Songhwa, Mingi, and Jungho go in here. Just because I don't really stand 80s, but I do like getting an album here and there, and so I've kind of it makes it seem like I am an 80s fan. But I just casually listen to their music. So I stored their photo cards in this binder. These two, this one has my freebies that I've gotten from selling, trading, or buying. And this is a continuation of that, which this one only I think has like maybe one or two, so it's pretty small. This one has, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this binder, but for now at least it has like my I guess my most expensive riize cards, which are only two. This one has photo cards that I am trying to get rid of. So it's like photo cards that I use as freebies, or photo cards that I are just duplicates that I want out of my collection. And this one has pretty much, it has my like ID cards, the little small, I think you can see them, the little small photo cards. And then it has photo cards I think that I'm currently selling and trading on my Mercari. So yeah, so we'll be going into each one by one and yeah, get through them all. Alright, so first off, we're going to be taking a look at my freebie mini binders. So these are just mini binders that I have from a mini binder that I have full of just freebies that I've gotten from purchases, trades. These are some of my favorite freebies. I like when a freebie is not just like a Lomo card. It's like it looks good, you know. It's like at least like these are kind of boring. I really like when it has like an actual like Polaroid look, you know, when they actually put, because these are like, for example, these are for sure Lomo cards. So I like when they put more like attention to detail on their freebies. Like this was a freebie, and they look really good. So yeah, my favorite ones are for sure like the clear ones. Like they look really good. Like this one's really, I like this one. This one's a cute Kihyun freebie. And then this is also one of my favorites. So I put at the very beginning. It's Jisoo from Ice Cream Era. Such a nice freebie. And then, like I said, this is a continuation of my freebies. So this one doesn't have that many. I mean, yeah, just 2. These really haven't been. I haven't really been adding to these just because in the past couple of, like honestly, well, in the last year, I really haven't traded much at all. I really only trade whenever I buy 17 albums, and I did. This sucks because they keep releasing a bunch of stuff, and I can't catch up. But I did buy their. I forgot what the comeback was, but I did buy some of their albums. It's just that I haven't paid for my my Bai warehouse shipping yet. It's already packaged and ready to be shipped out. It's just that with the holidays right now, it's been a little hard, you know, to have that extra kind of money, you know, to spend on shipping fees. So it's just been in the warehouse. I do need to ship it out soon because I think I have like maybe like 2 weeks max until then. So like I said, with 17, it's just like I mainly only trade whenever I buy 17 albums, just because there's 13 members, and to collect, you know, my bias, you know, Dino, it's you have to do a couple of trading, you know. And so I just haven't been able to trade, and so I haven't really gotten any freebies. I have joined group orders, but I don't really get freebies from those. It's just like a sticky note saying thank you and stuff. So yeah. Enough yapping. This was my freebie mini binders, and I think we'll do let's do my dupe binder. Alright, so this is my dupe binder. Okay, I'm also gonna, like, I forgot to mention, I'm also gonna be telling you guys where I get my binders from. So if you're ever wondering, oh, like, I like that binder, where to get it from, this binder I got from Mercari. Mercari is a really good place to buy a lot of K-pop items. That's where I buy a lot. I do have a link in my description that I think gives you some money if you sign up for the very first time. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But a lot of K-pop stands, including me, we sell them there. A lot of duplicate things that we have, or if you want to sell like a certain item, it's really easy for you to get noticed on Mercari. I'm not sponsored. I'm just I really like the app. I've gotten a lot of good stuff from them. So someone was selling this Monster X mini binder, and I bought it. And this one I got at, I think, on my local Target, which was like, I think, $5. So yeah, this binder I got from, I think, Temu. Temu or Shein, one of the two. So yeah, this just has all my duplicate photo cards, you know, that I'm trying to get rid of. Most of them are like pobs, but I do have a couple official photo cards that are duplicates. These are my like official duplicate photo cards. So yeah, so with this binder, like I've always said in the past videos, if you're ever interested in a photo card or a couple photo cards that are in here, go ahead, take some screenshots, DM me on Instagram and tell me that you want them. And as long as you're in the US, of course. If you're in the US, I will ship them to you for free. Like, you don't have to pay me anything. I'll simply mail them to you, because these are all duplicates that I don't want to sell because they won't sell. I've tried, and so I'm just trying to give them away for free. So if you're interested in any of these, hit me up on Instagram and they're yours. Alright, moving on, we have my riize. I guess for right now, at least, this is like my riize mini binder. This has the eunseok, I think, as many. And so this binder, to clarify at least, I am participating in the riize boycott. All these items that I have, I've purchased them way before in advance through group orders. And you know, if you don't know group orders, they take a long time for them to go through. So once we were in it, we couldn't cancel them because our order was purchased. And so yeah, this was just no clarification. Like I said, I am boycotting and I will stand by that. It's just that all these things were things that I purchased or pre-ordered in advance before the junghwan situation. So I joined the group order for this. I got the sohee, I think, version. And so for right now, I don't really have any other things to put in here. So I'm doing like my, I guess, most expensive sohee cards. So that's why there's only 2 in there. So this one is the, yeah, this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. And then the other one that I have is his Japan exclusives. So if you aren't a full riize, their first mini album, the Get a Guitar mini album, their US exclusives are like some of the most difficult cards to find now. Back in the day, if you would get the cards yourselves, they would be way cheaper. Now they're crazy expensive. I do want to buy some. It's just like I'm not that crazy yet. And I don't want to spend, you know, $40 on a photo card because that's like too much. So far, like I said, it's only just been 2 cards. So yeah, I don't know if this binder will remain what it is right now, but it's just like I really have no need for it, so that's currently what it is. All right, showing you guys my 80s mini binder. So like I mentioned before, this binder mainly has the entire group, besides Songhwa, Jungho, and Mingi, because they are, I guess, my would-be biases, and so they go in a different binder, and so basically everyone else besides them go in here. So I don't have that many photo cards. These are just photo cards that I've gotten from the couple albums that I've purchased. So yeah, so by the looks of it, it does seem like I'm a, what are their fans called? I forgot. But like, it would seem like I'm a fan of ATs. It's just like I bought a bunch of polka version albums from Mercari, and so it came with a bunch of like stickers and stuff, and so I'm like, might as well use them and put them to use, you know. So I decorated it a bit. So yeah, I do like ATs. They are a pretty cool group. It's just that I'm very picky with the groups that I stan, because I don't like standing a group and then unstanding, because I've done that once and it does not feel good having to get rid of your collection. So I'm very picky with who I stand, but I do listen to them casually. And lastly, we have my this is an A7, and this one I got from Mondu Deco. That's where I get a lot of my, mainly like my sleeves and stuff. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this binder I got from, I think, Temu or Shein. Alright, so in this binder, this just mainly has where I put my ID photo cards. So these tiny ones, that's where I usually put them. I also put like Hype albums usually come with like these Weavers cards, and so I usually put one from each era. And these all of these photo cards are photo cards that I'm currently trying to sell. I believe they all should be listed on my Mercari, so in case you want to buy a photo card, you can go and follow my Mercari. It's the same username as my YouTube, honey2sweet. But yeah, these are all photo cards that I'm currently trying to sell. Mainly they're all duplicates. So we have riize, we have card, and yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in any of these photo cards, you can instantly buy them on my Mercari, or send me a DM on Instagram for a better deal. Alright, so we took care of all of my mini binders and my A7. So I think it's time we move on to my A5s. For my A5s, I currently, since my last video, at least my last collection video, funny story, since my first video where it was my binder tour video, since then I have acquired quite a bit of A5 binders. As someone who I mainly only liked A4s, I have discovered my love for A5 binders. I just love how compact it is. I like seeing all those photo cards being able to like be stored in like a mini binder like that. And so I have upgraded a couple. I went from using just like regular like office mini binders or A5 to purchasing Prism Platinum, Meow Cafe, a couple of their A5s, as well as a couple of their A5s. So I'm going to be displaying a couple of those, and I have quite a bit, so I think it's time we get started with those and stop yapping. Alright, starting off, this is one it's basically my miscellaneous binder. So this is a binder that I got from Amazon. It's a Pokemon binder, and so in here I'm gonna be kind of flipping through it fast. I'm gonna talk a little bit, but I'll make sure not to talk too much. But just basically in here I have, these are my extra Le Seraphim cards that you got with the small version of the Unforgiven. Riize Unforgiven? Whatever area this is. It was in the small binder. And this is basically my, like, I guess my gaming cards. So if you're not interested in these, I get it, you can skip these. But in case you do like Pokemon cards and gaming cards, you know, you can watch if you please. So yeah, I don't have a lot of Pokemon cards because I'm not a big Pokemon collector. It's just that whenever I have this thing where if I ever go to Five Below, I always pick up either Five Below and GameStop. If I ever go to the stores, I always make sure to pick up like a pack of Pokemon cards. So I don't really go to the stores very often. So it's like whenever I go, I treat myself to a pack, you know. So yeah. Up next, these are cards that I got from ordering the collector's edition of a video game called Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So yeah, I do like, I love Dragon Age. If you haven't played those games, I definitely recommend if you're a gamer. But yeah, up next is just these three cards are my Animal Crossing amiibo cards. These are real and this one's a fake. If you guys didn't know, Animal Crossing New Horizons came out in 2020, in I believe April of 2020. So it came out when COVID, you know, had barely hit. You know, we were all quarantining in our house. Anyone was like, no one was going out. Everyone had to be basically in lockdown. We were in our houses most of the time. So Animal Crossing came out, I think, in a perfect time where everyone was just homebound and no one could leave their houses. And so we were all, not all of us, but most of us were, you know, basically gaming our days away. And so I think the reason why Animal Crossing popped off like that was because it came out at a time where, you know, everyone had nothing to do but game, you know, the entire day. And so amiibo cards were a thing where if you wanted a certain villager in your island, you could scan these and they would appear on your campsite. Um, they were so popular that I think Nintendo even started making more and releasing more because they hadn't like really released any since the previous game. Um, since then, Animal Crossing has died. I feel like no one plays that game. Nintendo did a really bad job at supporting that game, and so it's currently in the graveyard right now. So when I was playing, of course, it was kind of like photocard collecting. The more popular villagers were always like more expensive on Mercari. Like if it was just, I think these were some of like the less popular characters, and so they weren't too expensive. But like if it was a really popular character, they would be really really expensive. So I bought these two because, like I said, I wanted all of these villagers in my island. And so when it came to Elvis, I think at that time he was just going for too much on Mercari. Like I was not gonna spend that much. So there were people making unofficial cards, like fake cards that still worked, and so I ended up buying one from Mercari for I think like $5 at that time. So these are the ones that I have. And then funny story about these last cards. So in case you see my background, and you're like, oh, he for sure likes My Hero, that's his favorite anime. Definitely not. The reason why My Hero is my background is because I only had one volume of My Hero and I don't really like My Hero. So I was like, instead of throwing it away or selling it, what better way than to reuse it and to make it into my backgrounds. The cards themselves, I bought these because there was a time where my For You page was a bunch of like Pokemon collector unboxings, them opening packs, and other, like I was also seeing this one girl, her live at least was popping up on my For You page, where she was opening like anime packs, like Naruto card packs, and I was so jealous. And so what I did was I went on Mercari because that's where I always go to buy like anime manga related stuff as well. And for some reason I just looked up like anime packs or something like that, and I thought I had gotten such a good deal by finding this listing, and so I bought it. It was such an impulse buy. I think I bought it like at 4 a.m. and when I received it, it just came with so many cards. Like I said, I don't even like My Hero, so I don't even know why I even bought these cards. But yeah. And yeah, this box came with so many dupes as well that it was crazy. I literally still have all the dupes in the box. I'm trying to take that to Goodwill so someone else can have those cards. But I don't even know if I'm gonna keep these cards because I don't. Like I said, it's funny because I don't even like My Hero. Like if it was Naruto, then I'd keep them. But I don't like My Hero. So yeah, this is just a little miscellaneous binder, or like, honestly, I might call it my nerd binder. Because I don't know. Are those things considered nerdy? I have no idea. But yeah. Alright, moving on. This is, I want to say, not really one of my popular binders, but I mean, one of my favorite binders that I've made. I think it turned out amazing. And if you watch my previous videos, you know about this binder because you've seen it before. But this was where I had, emphasis on had, my Dino collection. Don't be scared, I haven't gotten rid of my Dino collection. I still love Dino and collecting Dino. It's just that he was filling up too quickly in this binder and he needed some special treatment, and so I upgraded him to A5 Deluxe binder from Prism Platinum. You're going to be seeing that in a little bit as well. So this binder, I just don't want to get rid of it, and so currently I transformed it into just like my Dino pre-order slash like exclusives binder, if that makes sense. So it's just working. I have like, for right now at least, it's just literally one page where I have like my Target exclusives and then my Dino Pops. So as you can see, I really don't put an emphasis on collecting Pops or exclusives for Dino, but it just like, I love this binder so much. I put in so much work into decorating this binder that I don't want to like, I don't want to retire it, you know. So for now at least, this is what it has. Yeah. Now taking a little look at this binder. This is my Asahi collection binder. This is where this binder has changed a lot as well. The biggest update being that for treasure at least, I have decided to collect, instead of one member of treasure, I decided to start collecting three members, three members of treasure. So I have decided to pick up collecting jaehyuk and junghwan. So this binder, it still has some of my asahi cards. Asahi still is my main priority, so he's the one that I put an emphasis on collecting first. So mainly this is like Pobs, and it has like the beginning of the collection, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah. And then the whole back page, this is all just like, I guess, Pobs and exclusives. So it's like not a lot. I have moved most of his cards to the A6 binder, because I got an A6 from Meow Cafe. That's where I have all three of them. And yeah, so this binder just has him for right now because I've run out of pages, but otherwise this binder will be getting retired later this year. As soon as I get those pages, this binder will be retired, unless I decide to use it as an asahi Pob binder like I did Dino, but I don't think so. So that's where this binder is. Okay, moving on. This is pretty much my girl group binder. So this has, well, my A5 girl group binder. This basically has like girl groups that I casually stan or slash casually listen to. So these girl groups aren't like girl groups that I stan or that I fully collect. It's just like when I buy an album here and there, this is basically what I keep. So it basically has my Le Sserafim cards. I believe it's Le Sserafim, Kazuha, Eunseok, and Sakura, because Chaewon and Yeonjin go in my bias binder. So this has them three. With Le Sserafim, it's kind of like 80s. I listen to them and stand them casually. So I don't really collect every single version. It's just like whenever I have extra money to spend on a comeback, I do, and if I don't, I don't. Otherwise, we do have, I bought, I think, 2 versions of New Jeans' album. I think I got, it's Hien and Heron, right? I don't really stand New Jeans like that. It's a little sad what New Jeans has become, and I'm really scared about the future of New Jeans. In terms of New Jeans, I don't really have an opinion, because I know they get criticized a lot for supporting Min Hye-jin. I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, they're just teenage girls, you know. And it's tough, you know, because I think they do have some sort of inclination to caring for Min Hye-jin, or whatever, however her name is. What's her name? Min Hye-jin. At the end of the day, like, that was their boss, you know. So I don't know. From last I heard, I believe they were gonna rename themselves as Jeans or something like that. I don't really know. It's just shitty how Hybe is treating their groups. Cause it's just weird seeing New Jeans basically like leaving Hybe, and then all of a sudden G-Friend is out here promoting a comeback. Like, what? So I don't know. I don't really like Hybe. I don't fuck with Hybe. Fuck Hybe. So yeah. But either way, you know, if you are a bunny and you are, you know, sad about this whole thing going on with New Jeans, as someone who has stand groups that have disbanded, RIP Pixie, I'm not gonna lie, it is hard not getting music, not getting content from your favorite artist or your favorite group. So I'm not gonna lie, it's not like it's not easy what you guys are going through, what you're gonna go through. Especially, I don't want to like be negative, but I don't know if they'll potentially get blacklisted from the entertainment industry. I have no idea. Depends how messy Hype wants to get. So it sucks. It definitely does suck. I wish them the best. I hope that they can recover from this, because I know they will, because their music slaps. It's really good music, so I do hope they can, I don't know, rebrand, do something, you know, because it sucks that these K-pop idols have to pay for the consequences and for the actions of others when they themselves didn't do nothing. So yeah. Now this binder is basically the opposite of the binder you just saw. This houses pretty much the same thing. Like, it's boy groups that I really don't listen to, that I casually listen to at least, and so it has pretty much, yeah. You'll see. So it's the boys, P1 Harmony. This is a new addition. This was not here at the very beginning of the year. This is Highlight, because I really did like their title track. It was so good. Then we have Enhypen and Super M. So yeah, this binder just basically has boy groups that I don't really listen to. So yeah, like for example, like Enhypen, I've been meaning to get like an album here and there, because their comebacks are pretty good in my opinion. I like them. It's just like I mainly only buy albums of these groups, of those two binders, you know, the girl groups and the boy groups, if I have the spare money and if I like the comeback, you know. So I've liked a lot of these comebacks that these groups have had. It's just that money, especially around the holiday season, has been low. Okay, so up next, this is a new binder as well. So this binder currently houses my soloist collection. Alright, so my soloist collection has seen quite a bit of change. It went from going into a A5 binder to now an A5 deluxe binder. So this is a Meow Cafe binder, and I really needed an upgrade for this binder, just because I felt like it was getting too crowded, and I did have a lot of inclusions for my soloists, and I do like displaying them, and so I really did need to upgrade them into an A5 deluxe binder. And I was really debating either like a Prism Platinum binder, but I ended up going with Meow Cafe. So first up we have BI or Hanbin. So that was Hanbin, and up next we have Wonho. Alright, that was Wonho, and up next we have Xiumin of EXO. I really like that comeback, and so I ended up getting it. That's pretty much all I have from him. Otherwise, up next we have Chungha. And then we have Sujin. And then to end off, we have Bang Yedang. So yeah, that was my soloist. So clearly, as you can tell, my soloist collection isn't my highest priority. And so I don't have every single version or every single album. I clearly am missing quite a bit, but they're basically like, I wish I could buy more of their albums and stuff. It's just like they're, like I said, my lowest priority. So if I ever do have money and like none of my ults have had comebacks and they have ults, I mean, and they have comebacks, then I will purchase a couple albums here and there. So I definitely do want to upgrade them, like at least in terms of like my album collections. I definitely do want to improve on that and collect more photo cards. But so far, like I said, they're like my lowest priority right now. All right, I think let's take a look at my, I think this is A6, right? A6 binder. So this binder, I've mentioned before when we looked at my Asahi binder. This binder now has the 3 members of Treasure that I collect. I haven't really done much with this, just because I really do need to prioritize back collecting Treasure because I haven't done so, and so I am missing quite a bit of albums of theirs, and so I don't have that many photo cards. So I don't have that much, but I am planning to collect all 3 members, including back collecting them. So I'm gonna try my hardest to do so. So yeah, Treasure hasn't had a comeback in a year. They are currently in YG's dungeon. Well, they recently did come out with a single. I've heard a little snippet of it. I haven't really heard it myself. But I really do hope that YG can treat Treasure a little bit better and give them more activities, because I feel like they are going down the icon route, and I don't like that route. So I do hope they get a little bit more attention from YG, so Treasure as a group can grow their fan base, because I feel like instead of gaining fans, we are slowly losing them. So if you haven't checked out Treasure, definitely give them a go. They are an amazing group. I love their dynamic and how funny they are. So yeah. I really do need to buy more pages though. That's why I haven't transferred fully my Asahi collection into here, is because I ran out of pages. So yeah, I do hope that I can hopefully fill this up a little bit better. I have purchased a couple cards from Pokemarket. So hopefully in the next few months you will see some more photo cards being stored in here. Alright. Alright, so this is my bias binder. This binder is pretty self-explanatory, but if you don't know, or if you haven't seen my previous videos, this binder just mainly has the K-pop idols who I would collect from certain groups. So it's like my bias in every group basically. So I'll explain a little bit further as we dive into this collection. This is a little it came with the SF9 Nemo version, because they're not called S minis because they're not from SM. I think they're called Nemo versions. So as you can see, my would-be bias, you know, that's how it kind of works. My would-be bias in NCT Dream would be Geno. And so with these, it's not like I fully collect them, or I'm fully like trying to collect them. It's just like, if I'm gonna buy like photo cards for a certain group, it's gonna be, you know, these members. So I tried to buy a couple photo cards here and there, but like they're not high on my priority list. And so it's just like, if I can find cheap ones, I buy them, but if not, it's a very slow collection. So it's Xiaojun from Wavy. I don't even have any Wavy albums, so these are just photo cards from like their full group activities. Otherwise, we have Chani of SF9. Like I mentioned, we have Songhwa, Mingi, and Jungho of ATs. We have Yeonjin from Le Seraphim. And then we have Chaewon from Le Seraphim. Then we have, this is supposed to be my it's supposed to be my Giselle and Karina page, but from the couple of aespa albums that I've purchased, I have yet to pull any Giselle or Karina, so I just have this one Karina card. But yeah, it should be Karina and Giselle. It's just that I haven't been lucky in that department. Otherwise, we have Nati of Kiss of Life and Julie. Then we have, this is like my Stray Kids bias line. So we have Changbin. We have Sungmin. And then we have IN. So yeah, I know they have like other names, but I'm not like a big stay. It's just like I was bored, so I made them like cutouts because I had an extra Stray Kids album. So it's just literally, that's the reason why I made them their own binder covers. But yeah. And lastly, this is my retired Pixie Dia collection, and Lola, right? Yeah, Dia and Lola. They were my two biases in Pixie. They were the two members that I was collecting. Pixie is no longer a group anymore. They are each pursuing solo activities. Not everyone. I think there's only a couple of the girls that are doing stuff. But I do still follow Dia on Instagram, because I definitely do want to see what they do. Even if they don't do anything, you know, at least get updates from them. It's pretty nice. They were a girl group that I was really looking forward to. They were, I think, the only group that I have stand that have disbanded. So yeah, RIP Pixie. But this was my Dia and Lola collection. I'm honestly a little happy that it didn't get any more bigger than that, because I would have felt even more sad having to downsize, you know, that collection. So yeah. But this binder is slowly getting bigger, so I do have some more of these binders that'll probably like end up kind of splitting up, you know, either in boy groups and girl groups, or I don't know yet, but it has gone quite heavy and quite big, so I need to see what I'm gonna do with this binder, because otherwise it's gonna start overflowing. Okay, and so lastly we have my last couple A5s. They're all from Prism Platinum besides one. Yeah. So this binder and then my two other bunny binders are pretty new to my collection. I'm talking like a month old, I think. So with these binders, for Black Friday, if you guys didn't know, Prism Platinum had a, what was it? Buy two get one free, I think. Yeah, I think so. I think it was buy two get one free deal going on their website, and that was including everything. Everything on their website was buy two get one free, and so I kind of took advantage of that and bought a couple binders. So I bought two deluxe bunny binders, the blue one and the orange one, and then I ended up buying this one. So yeah, I definitely do suggest like keeping up with like the social medias of stores like that, because most of the time you don't know they're gonna have those kinds of deals until it's too late and until they're over. So I feel like a lot of people also took advantage of that deal because it was such a good deal. Like you literally could get a free binder just by purchasing 2 binders. So it was an amazing opportunity for me to, you know, upgrade a couple binders and upgrade a couple collections. And so far I have loved these binders. They are really, really good. I love these types of A5 binders. Not sponsored, but you know where you can get them. All right, so this binder in particular has basically, my binders are kind of like all over the place, you know, it's a little confusing. But this binder has basically the groups that I am interested in the boy groups and girl groups that I'm interested in, and that I purchased quite a couple of their albums. And my collection grows, they'll be going in here, if that makes sense. You know, so like the other 2 individual boy group and girl group albums, those are girl groups that I don't really care about, or their members I don't really care about. So I don't sell them or anything, I just keep them, but I put them in those binders. And so then this binder has like all the groups that like I do care about. So you know, as I flip through this, I'll explain a little bit more on the binder. But of course we have SF9. I've been meaning to get into them a lot more. They have really good music, and the only thing that pisses me off is the way that what's his name? Zuho, the way that he is treated. Or Suho. What's his Suho? Zuho. One of the two. I'm a new fantasy, I think that's what the fandom is called. But I hate the way that he's treated, especially because I'm a Mon Bebe, and I like the way that Starship treats Changkyun from Monsta X, where he's still a part of the group, but he's not a part of the label. And in their case, like they basically like exclude him from stuff, and it's kind of like it's really, really horrible. I hate them for that. But yeah, I've been wanting to get more into SF9, and so I've gotten a couple of their albums. Up next is Boy Next Door. I cannot tell you how much I've been loving Boy Next Door's music. So with the whole riize situation going on, I'm gonna be completely honest, I do feel myself getting a little bit of, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not liking riize as I did in the beginning. They have gone from being an alt of mine to now being a group that I'm it hurts to say this, but a group that I'm considering unstanding, to be quite honest. I don't think I'm there yet to unstanding, but I've thought about it for sure. And so I've been wanting to find another boy group that could take their spot in that, in the sense where like I'm excited for their releases, I'm excited to see what they keep doing in the future, and I think I found him. I found the group, and it's Boy Next Door. Their music is so good. I really do like how their manager is Zico, because I feel like he, artistically wise, is pretty talented, and it kind of shows through his group, that his boy group that he has. And so I think Boy Next Door is going to be my new focus and my new center of attention in terms of like my new alt. But for now, at least, I mean, I haven't committed to buying, the albums yet. I've bought a couple here and there, but so far these are the cards that I've pulled. I don't quite yet know the names of the group, the names of the members in the group, I'm sorry, but I do think my bias would probably be, that's tough. I don't know if I can pick. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Boy Next Door keeps doing, because their music has been really good. Up next is aespa. So like I said, I do have a sort of curse going on where I seem to pull everybody besides Karina and Giselle. So Winter and Ning Ning are always appearing in my pulls. Just recently I did buy one of the recent releases, and I literally pulled Winter. I'm not complaining though, but it's just that I'm not someone who trades, and so I usually always keep my pulls, and so I decide to put him in here because aespa is a really good girl group. They are coming out with bangers, so yeah, decided to put him in here. And lastly, we have Kiss of Life. So this is basically the last 2 members of Kiss of Life, the members that I'm not trying to collect, and a couple of their inclusions. And then lastly, we have XG. I also love XG. They have really good music as well. It's just that they're a group that like I find it harder to collect their albums because most of the time it's like they do a limited run or sometimes they're a little bit more pricey. But I have managed to buy one. I do want to buy more. And yeah, otherwise this finishes this binder walkthrough. And yeah, so I hope you guys kind of understand a little bit more on what I mean by my binders, you know, on how I kind of organize them. It's a little weird, you know, a little complicated, but it's what works for me. So yeah. All right. Next up, we have another Prism Platinum binder. This is a Royal edition, I think. I don't know what the blue one was called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think this one is called Royal. So previously this binder had my riize collection. It had my eunseok and my sohee collection. But since then things have shifted a bit, and I'll explain them later on when we get to my bigger binders. But so far this has been turned into my joohoney collection. So previously I think I had joohoney in at the very beginning. I honestly think he started off, yeah, joohoney started off being in this mini binder to then being put into a regular like Office Depot A5, and now he has this A5. So yeah, this has been pretty recent. I think I just did this maybe like 2 weeks ago. I just really didn't like him in the other binder, and so I had this binder available, and so I moved him over. So this is joohoney from Monster X. Monster X is one of my ults, and joohoney is my bias, so I collect joohoney. He is currently in the military. He's serving in the military, and so since he's in the military, he can't continue with any activities, and so it's been a little bit of a dry spot. I think, is that what it's called, a dry year for Asman Bebe, especially as a joohoney bias. No joohoney content is I think it's getting to me low-key. Lights was a really good comeback. I loved it. I can't wait to see what he puts out after the military, so I hope he gets out soon. It shouldn't be too long. I think a couple more months and he's out. But I definitely I have a pretty good collection. I've managed to keep up, but I just want to like be more specific in my collections with him. But yeah, otherwise this was my joohoney binder. Okay, up next we have a binder that you guys don't really see, to be honest. And that is my card binder. You guys see this binder once in a while just because I have completed, well, have yet to finish, but they have had a comeback a couple months ago. I forgot the name of the album, to be honest. I have yet to finish collecting that, but I do have a complete collection up until this recent era. So yeah, you guys don't see it as much just because I'm not really planning on collecting any previous pops. So this was my first ever K-pop concert. So it might seem a little bit weird why I have a glove in there, but that glove was the glove I used for High Touch. And since then, I think they've been the only group that I've seen in person. And this is for sure my prized possession. I'm so proud and happy with my card collection, because if you're a hidden card and you have been trying to back collect photo cards, you definitely do know the pain of trying to buy these out of print photo cards and not these out of print albums. It's so hard. So that's why I guess I'm so proud of my collection, because it took me a long time to finish. And in terms of cards future, I don't know. I think their contract ends soon. I think this year it ends. I do believe they're gonna go on one last tour. I just don't know if they're gonna renew again, or I personally feel like they're not going to. I feel like they might be going their separate ways and each pursuing different directions in music, which is totally fine. But if they do stay as a group, I mean, I'd love that. I feel like we'd all love that. But I definitely do hope they can at least get one more comeback, so they can try to get at least one music show win, because they haven't received any wins yet. And they definitely do deserve a win for their music, and for being like the only co-ed group in Korea to be able to basically make it out of the trenches, you know. So yeah, I do have some photo cards for this era, but I have yet to store them. So yeah, this was card. Like I've said, this is my prized possession. I love this collection so much. I don't know, I think deep down the reason why I haven't finished catching up with the recent comeback, honestly, is because after I finish that, like, I'll be caught up again, you know, and I'll have nothing to work on in the meantime. So I guess my subconscious is like doing that. Cause I'm sad to see them leave, you know, once they, if they ever do, you know, stop making music and they go their own ways, it'll be a sad day. Okay, up next we have my second A5 deluxe binder. Now my previous one, the one that card was in, that is from Mandu Deco, and so I technically do have like a binder from each of the top 3 stores. But this is a deluxe, I believe, bunny binder. Prism Platinum released a kind of like New Jeans inspired collection, and so each bunny binder is made, I think, after one of their songs. So I don't remember off the top of my head what this binder is for, but it's, I think, Attention or one of those. So this currently has my Dino collection. So like I mentioned before, when you guys saw my other binder, that was where Dino originally was, but he recently outgrew it and he was kind of popping out of that binder. And with one of the bonus binders that I got from the Prism Platinum Black Friday deal, I decided to upgrade his binder up a bit, and so I moved him into here. So yeah, this is my Dino collection. I haven't completed it yet, so all the red squares are photo cards that I need to buy. But there are some eras that have been completed, some that haven't. I am a little behind on some comebacks, especially newer comebacks. So yeah, this is all the new comeback. I do have it. It's just in Korea right now because I haven't paid for the shipping. So how do you guys like the blue and the green? You know, I kind of like it because it kind of stands out, you know, with the green sleeves. So yeah, with 17, like I've mentioned, I just can't keep up with them. They keep releasing so much stuff. So I try my best when I can, you know, to get an album here and there. But yeah. Okay, and lastly, to finish off, we have my last A5 Deluxe binder. So this is the last of the binders that I got from Prism Platinum when they had the Black Friday deal. And this is in their orange color. Now usually I'm not the biggest fan of orange, but out of the 5 other colors, I don't know, blue and orange stood out to me the most, and so those are the colors I decided to go with. And so in this binder, I currently have my riize collection. So for riize, I used to collect eunseok and sohee. I used to collect both of them for album photo cards at least, and then for pobs, I collected sohee. So where I stand with riize right now, I currently am deciding if I want to continue signing them, just because I still am participating in the boycott, and I just don't know. I'm really conflicted right now. because I still like their music, and I still like them as a group. It's just things have changed so much, so I don't really know where my head is right now. So I'm definitely gonna give it a couple months and see where I stand and what direction I want to go with them. But I'll definitely keep you guys updated with any future developments. But at least for now, this was my riize collection. I do have quite a couple more photo cards that I'm gonna be storing. Like I mentioned before, I did already purchase the comeback that had the bag. I forgot what the comeback was called. But all the items that I've purchased for riize and all the albums were literally, if you go to, I forgot what video it was, but it's one of my previous videos. I explained a little bit more, but long story short, a lot of the albums and merch that I bought for riize that you guys will be seeing throughout the next couple of videos isn't recent. Quite literally, the day that Junghwan got announced to be coming back, I literally purchased the albums I purchased them in a K-pop store here in the US and a K-pop store in Korea in celebration of that. You know, long story short, 24 hours later, he was out of the group again, and so those albums were not cancelable, and so I decided to keep them and unbox them, and in the future unbox them, because some of the riize albums still haven't gone here, in celebration of that night that, you know, we had Sunghan back for a couple hours. So that's pretty much it. Since then, I have boycotted, and I will continue to boycott. If anything, I might work on back collecting a couple photo cards, you know, because at the end of the day, that's me buying from other people and not from SM. So yeah. So these are my sohee pobs that I was talking about. These are more sohee pobs, and then we have an eunseok pob, and I think that's pretty much it, right? Yeah. So that's pretty much it for riize. I do have more photo cards to store. They're just either not with me right now, or they're on their way. So yeah. So in terms of unstanding, I don't think I'm quite there yet, or I haven't really decided to unstand. I definitely do think, like I said before, that I will be putting more attention on Boy Next Door in the future, to kind of like distract me from riize and what they're doing, you know. So yeah. And we are finally done, not with the video, but with storing all of my smaller binders. And all that we have left is to store the rest of my A4 binders, you know, so my bigger size binders. So I will be showing you those right now, I guess. So let's go. Alright, so I went ahead and grabbed my old binder because I've seen this binder pretty much every single time I store photo cards in here. This is my nothing too fancy, I know, but this currently houses my 3 old groups, right? 3, yeah. It has Blackpink, Monster X, and 17. So starting off, we have Blackpink. So this is my Blackpink collection, and in case you haven't noticed, I always keep my polls for all groups besides 17. But Blackpink has currently been inactive. I know they are pursuing individual activities, and if I'm being honest, they're good and all. It's just that with Jisoo being my bias, she's the only one that I really care about like collecting. So with, you know, the other soloists and the other solos, I know they've come out with like physical stuff to collect, but I just don't care about collecting those, if I'm being completely honest. But if Jisoo ever came out with like actual like a physical album, then I'd be for sure buying that. But otherwise, you know, I like hearing them and like seeing them do their own stuff on the sides, you know. But if it's anything Jisoo related, I'll for sure get that. Okay, and then, like I mentioned before, this is Monsta X, another group who has also been very inactive, not because they choose to be, but because they are grown men who have to serve in the military like any other Korean male. So that's why currently they've been a little quiet. So everyone should pretty much be coming back from enlistment besides I.M. or Chunkyun. I do believe he goes soon, and he's the only one who hasn't gone yet. But I do believe that Shanu, Minhyuk, are done, and I think Kihyun is Kihyun done already, or he's almost done. And so is Junghwan and Joohoney. So yeah, I didn't buy the Shanu Hyungwon subunit. Not really for any reason. It's just like I'm very picky with what I spend my money on K-pop now, and so unless it's like full group stuff, I really don't care. And finally, we have 17. So I do need to finish a couple of their, at least back collect a couple of their other albums. But 17 has been a group where I've fallen out a little bit with them, just because I feel like they come out with too much stuff, and so I can't keep up. But they're all still very talented. It also just kind of pains me to see the way that a lot of the members are treated, especially June. Like, I don't know, I love all the members. Like, I think they all have so much potential and like amazing abilities, you know, and I just don't get how people could be like solo stands and only care about one certain member and not the rest, you know. So I don't know. But yeah, I definitely kind of, well, I'm gonna be so real. Like, I didn't plan on going, but I was interested in like possibly attending their recent tour, but that shit got sold out in seconds. It's crazy. Not seconds. It was very fast though, and so I honestly was not planning on securing tickets. However, I was interested in maybe going, but yeah. Otherwise, I know BSS is having a comeback soon. The Busoksun unit. I don't know if I'll be getting that though. I have yet to decide. I don't know. But yeah. So in case you're wondering my biases in these groups, my bias is mainly Wonu in 17. However, I do collect Dino, as you saw in my previous binders. I do collect Dino, just because he's more easier to collect than Wonu is. But I do, you know, my main bias is Wonu. But my bias line is Wonu, Dino, DK, June, and V8. For Monsta X, my bias is Joohoney, bias wrecker is Shanu, and for Blackpink, my bias is Jisoo, and my bias wrecker would probably be Jennie. Up next is my girl group A4 binder. So in the front I have a Pixie collage, R.I.P. Pixie. And so in here, this mainly has like my bigger collection of girl groups. So currently it has Pixie, so it has everyone else besides, you know, Dia and Lola, and then some fan made cards as well. And then pretty much I think it's all of these cards, I think. This is my Twice collection. I don't really stand Twice as much anymore. They were a previous alt of mine. They are no longer an alt, and so I just casually listen to them and maybe buy an album here and there. I haven't bought any recent albums, so it's just like not really growing at all. But this is currently my Twice collection. So yeah, that was Twice. My bias in Twice is Dahyun, and my bias line is Junghyun, Chaeyoung. Honestly, maybe Jaehyuk instead of Chaeyoung. I don't know. But yeah, with Twice, I just really haven't been feeling their comebacks recently. But I definitely don't want to unstand because I still am interested in what they do. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, and lastly, well, not lastly. Up next, we have my A4 deluxe binder from Meow Cafe, and this currently has my riize collection. So like I said, I've talked about how I feel about riize, and my plans and everything, but this has what I currently have for a collection, at least for riize. So we have a couple OT7 sets. You know, I literally bought most of these items and these pages in this binder in celebration for Junghwan coming back, but he is no longer coming back. So it's kind of a place to like remember him by. And then we have album cards. Like I mentioned, I have more cards on the way, so they're going to be taking up all this extra space. And then pretty much everything else is all of their inclusions, posters, stuff like that. Their season's greetings, which I will not be getting this year because of the boycott. Like, look, I love this postcard of Junghwan so much with the Secret Wars comic. Like, and then these big ass what are they called, still shots that came with the season's greetings. I literally got this album because of how big they were. And that's it. So yeah, those were my thoughts on riize. I guess one day we just have to accept the fact that there'll be a 6-member group. I don't want to though, but it's something that we might have to eventually come to terms with, you know. But I don't know, I might pick up a couple OT7 sets, I don't know. See, because like I was literally making this like sticker board, and I have like based off like age order, and I literally just need like the Sohee and Anton sticker, and when it came to Junghwan, I was like, he doesn't have a sticker. Anyways, moving on. Up next, as you can see, I have a lot of blue binders. So if you couldn't tell, my favorite color is blue. A little TMI. But this binder currently has my treasure collection. So everyone besides, you know, the 3 that I collect, they go in here. This binder I got at Staples, and they have a good variety of different colors. And these binders are really good. I like how sturdy they are. And the pages I got from Meow Cafe. I have upgraded them, so that's another big change that I have made in the past year. Is I upgraded a lot of my A4 pages, and so most of them are filled with Meow Cafe pages, unless there's like a binder that I don't really care about, you know, like my Grow Group A4. That really doesn't see much of a change, so I've used old pages for that. But yeah, this has my treasure collection. With treasure, I have yet to finish back collecting their albums, and so I really need to do that. Then lastly, these couple pages are just like pre-order, like Like they didn't have an album, but they did have a single, King Kong, and so I joined a group order for that, so I could have something to remember King Kong by. So I got those 3 pop sets. And then at the beginning of my collection of this year, I was intending on collecting Mashiho from Treasure. Well, he was from Treasure. He's no longer in Treasure, but I have decided to not do so. But I do have this page in case I ever buy any of his photo cards. You know, when I buy like a pre-owned album and stuff, I'll put him in there. And the rest are just like random cards that I've gotten from big Treasure PC sets. So yeah, for Treasure, or my goals for Treasure and for this binder, like I said, I do plan on hopefully, crossing my fingers, seeing Treasure in April. Definitely back collecting a couple of their albums and getting more Treasure photo cards. And I do hope they release something soon because I need an album ASAP. Alright, and so up next we have my boy group A4. I really need to do something with him, but sorry about the jump scare. Let me cover his ugly ass face. But this binder is pretty much like my girl group A4. So it has like the boy groups that I guess I kind of stan or I'm into. So this mainly being NCT. I have yet to get any wavy albums. I do definitely want to get a couple, because I do like Xiaojun from Wavy. But otherwise, this has NCT 127 and it has NCT Dream, and then of course the full NCT activities. So NCT U, I think it's called. So first we have 127. For 127, my bias was the member who was no longer a part of NCT 127. He was the person that I was collecting. Since then, I think it was in my most recent video, I disposed of his photo cards. So I think now my bias would probably be Do Young, I think. And then we have NCT Dream. My bias is Jeno, like I've mentioned. I do like Renjun as well, so he would probably be my bias wrecker. And then my bias wrecker in 127 would probably be Haechan. And then these are the NCTU activities. So yeah, I also keep my polls if you haven't noticed. And then we have Stray Kids. So Stray Kids really isn't a group that I stand too much. It's just like here and there I'll buy a couple albums. And so this was from a pop set that came with Christmas Evil, I think. And then basically they're my polls. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, this was pretty much my boy group A4. Oh, let me I'll make sure to put an emoji over it or something, because I don't want you guys seeing that criminal on your screen, you know. But I definitely do want to like back collect a couple NCT albums. So that's another goal that I have for this year, is doing that. So we should be getting a little bit more storing photo cards that include NCT photo cards, hopefully, crossing my fingers. But yeah, moving on, this binder isn't too special. I just wanted to make a binder where I could store all of my Carat version 17 cards. So if you didn't know, 17 releases Carat versions that are member specific. So there's 13 versions in total, and each member specific album has a set of member specific photo cards, and most of the time I think it's like 20-ish cards I think you get. And so it comes with a binder that you can store them in, but it's not too recommended because they have PVC in them. And so I decided to just put all those Carat version photo cards in one binder. So my rule that I go with 17 Carat versions is I only buy 3, and with those 3 I basically keep them. And then if I want to later on buy one of my biases for their Carat version, then I will do so. But otherwise, These are those photo cards stored in here. Not sleeved, so they move a lot, but and yeah, so that's currently where they go, just because I wanted some place to put them besides their own mini binders, because at the end of the day they still count as photo cards. So that's where I have them now. Alright, and lastly, to finish off, we have the last binder, which is my 3-inch binder, the Big Mama. And this binder isn't nothing special, it's just the binder that I have where I store all of my photo card inclusions. So it's postcards, stickers, anything, you know, that's bigger than a photo card, go in here. So yeah. So for this portion, I'm just going to be zooming through them. I'm going to be speeding them up because at the end of the day, they're just postcards, inclusions, things like that. And that pretty much brings us to the end of this binder and this video as well. Do I have any goals for this binder? I would really like splitting it up a little bit more and putting the actual inclusions with the actual groups, you know, like I'm saying, like with the actual photo cards. But at least for right now, this is where it's gonna go. Until then, I don't know if I'm gonna get like a binder. I don't know, actually, we'll see. But yeah. Alright, and so that pretty much brings us to the end of this video. I'm so tired now. It's because since last year, I mean, my channel and my collection has grown. And so I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who either are new watchers or have, you know, subscribed and are continuing to watch my content. I'm so happy and I'm so thankful. And I'm really excited to see what I can do in the next year, because I do promise I'm going to be more productive in that area. So yeah, if you want to see my collection grow along with me, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. If you like the video, click that thumbs up. Check out my other videos as well. But yeah, just well, this new year entering in August would be my 5-year anniversary as a keep up stand. Half a decade. Kind of crazy. But yeah, otherwise, like I said, we have reached the end of this video. Nothing else to show. So yeah, thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate it. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope 2025 brings us all more photo cards, more albums, a bigger collection. But overall, I hope we can achieve happiness and be overall healthy in the next year. So yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.